Hey everybody, how's it going? So today, didn't hit record. Try that again. Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to get started with a MacBook repair. Let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with this MacBook and make it work again. One of the things that I like to do is figure out why the MacBook doesn't work so that I can make the MacBook work again. And I'm going to try to do that with all of you. So, let's get started, shall we? Let's get started. Okay, we're going to get my power supply on. It looks like we are taking 270 milliamps and not turning on. Also, our green light is intermittent. Now, 270 milliamps and not turning on typically means we have a PP bus G3 hot short. Let's see if that's the case. So I've got my meter here. PP bus G3 hot is going to be right here. Yeah, 0.8 volts. That's a PP bus short. So something is going to make me go, ow. Let's see if we can figure out what's going to make my, ow? Okay, I got it on the first guess. That's what we call the owie test. The owie test. So put a little bit of alcohol on there, plug it in, and the first cap that it sizzles away from. Can you guys see that? Zoom in over here so you can see that. Check it out. So I got my alcohol. Put my alcohol on the board. I plug it in. Ow! So we call the owie test. For some reason, every time I hook up the thermal camera, it disconnects my internet. And I can't fit. So the thermal camera it's an IP camera that works over the network. And every time I open the software that allows me to use the thermal cam, every single time it disconnects my internet. And I haven't figured out why it does that. And honestly, I have better things to do with my time. So I've just been kind of using the owie test in its place. And the owie test has been doing good by me. The owie test has been doing good. So this is nice. Owie test for the win indeed. So I'm going to replace this one cap. Man, Paul is going to be pissed at me. Paul is not going to be happy if he sees that I got this. By the way, everybody, we have the Atten 862 rework station back in stock. If you check out store.rossmanngroup.com. On store.rossmanngroup.com, you can get the Atten 862 rework station. Supplies are back in stock. DHL is... The funny thing is we asked them to use FedEx instead of DHL. And they used DHL anyway. And what DHL did is they said that when they submitted they're so awful compared to... I mean, I'm not saying FedEx is great, but they said that no. The EIN you gave us is for Mac Laptop Repair Specialist, not Rossmann Repair Group. And it said, yeah, it's a DBA. It's the DBA. It's right on the paperwork. It's the same company. It's just a DBA name. So the stuff it was very close to being sent back to China because of that. So I paid my tariffs to buy my hot air station. I paid my, $4,000 or $6,000 in tariffs. It's designed. It's there to make sure that I'm encouraged to buy American. Because the next step up from this hot air station, or dare I say, step down, is a Pace hot air station that costs over $1,000 for half the power and doesn't have preset functionality. It's so funny. It's so funny. Like this whole tariff thing makes me laugh. This tariff thing really does make me laugh. Yeah. How far do we get in making great hot air stations and competitive products in America over the past few years? Oh, it's so sad. It's sad because I want to be able to buy American and be proud that I bought American. But I mean, if I bought American, I would just probably hang my head in shame with the quality of the products that we have to choose from. Oh, remember the Edson? Remember that piece of junk that literally was falling apart on my desk? Oh my God, that thing was so underpowered. It cost about 2 or 3 times what the Atten cost. Was completely underpowered. And literally fell apart. Oh, it was awful. It's awful. Like, I want to like things that are made in America. I really do. I want to be a patriot. I want to be a patriot. But damn, we haven't made some good soldering stations in a long effing time. Like, jeez. Sunday Stream Live. Thanks for all you do that benefits us even if you don't recognize. Most right to repair equals freedom of speech. I think the right to repair and freedom of speech are going to be fundamentally different things, but I will accept your thank you anyway. And thank you back for your thank you. Alright, we've got this nicely cleaned up here. Yeah, Andre, so there's this thing with OBS where I can set the game of the stream, but if I'm not playing a game, then I can't set it to no game. And I'd have to log into Twitch and deal with two-factor authentication to change that, so it's yeah. Sorry. Oh, well. Alright, we just clean that area. Now, I'm a lazy boy today, so I'm not gonna want to turn on my hot air station and take the board out of the case. So what I can do is I can show you a trick. Just burn the alcohol away momentarily. I meant it as equally as important. Okay, now I get you. Okay, I did kind of I lied. I turned on the hot air station a little bit. So put a little bit of solder over there. Gonna take a cap off of a donor board. And we're going to put it on there, and this board's going to be a happy little MacBook again. I'm excited to make it a happy little MacBook again, so that it can go back to being a Mac, and Macking and all that. Being a Mac. MacBook. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something here, how I can get away with not really having a hot air station, but still replacing the cap. Let's see if you get this. 1, 2, okay. I heat up the pad and slide the cap in. Gonna slide it in. Maybe slide it in a little more. Come on, just slide the tip in a little more. Like the New Jersey property tax collector. We're gonna pretend that this soldering iron tip is the New Jersey property tax collector. Mario, I wouldn't be surprised. And whoopsie. Okay, let's try that again. Probably use something with a little bit more thermal mass. I believe all of my good tips have been taken. We're going to show you how to make do with what you got. So when you're sticking the tip in, you may not have the strongest tip. You know, it's really not always going to have the strongest tip. Definitely speaking from experience there. So you can just use more of the tip that you have and do something like this. That's right. If you don't have a big or strong tip, just use more of the tip that you have. For your evening meal with Erica, thanks for all you do. Wow, that holy crap, 50 euro. I'm not worthy. Thank you. So now we do have flux there. Since there is flux there, I don't have to worry about it burning away on the iron over here. So I'm going to push down. And there we go. Get a nice joint in there. So this is just an idea, just a tactic. If you don't have a hot air station, but you want to replace a shorted cap, again, it's not going to be as easy to get it as perfect, because the way that I get components to flow into place is using the hot air and allowing it to flow into the perfect position. But I really want to make more of these videos something where you can kind of do the job even if you don't have all the tools. Even if you don't have the hot air station that we have at store.rossmanngroup.com at an 862, but we do have it at an 862 at store.rossmanngroup.com. I am a shill. Shameless shill. Absolutely shameless. If you won't shill yourself, then what will you shill? You gotta be willing to shill something. At the very least, you gotta be willing to shill yourself. I will shamelessly shill myself. Alright, so now this is gonna work beautifully. Just dry off the alcohol. Let's lower the temperature on this thing. Here's 5 for the proper amount of flux. Listen, man, that was old generation. You're not gonna get me using that amount of flux ever again. I'm done. I'm over it. I will use the proper amount of flux in Paul's measurements. But that's it. Hey, the alcohol will evaporate. Thank you, Zaim. Don't know if I deserve it, but I highly appreciate it. Okay, now, as you may see, the fan is spinning. The fan is spinning. The fan is spinning. The fan is spinning. Linux Dog, I don't know if it should stay private, but I see no need to add its shit to the fire. Five-Vol, you probably won't after I answer it. So we had a short on PP-Bus G3 Hot. I solved it using the AOE test, and now this board works again. That's, again, Again, it's not the usual tactic I would use to replace a cap. Many may ask, why don't I use soldering tweezers? Soldering tweezers don't have the thermal mass required to do that. Most soldering tweezers, each side of the tweezer, at least for the tweezers that I use, have a similar thermal mass to a micro pencil. So it wouldn't, like, let's say I were to use this, right? So this would be able to pick up a teeny tiny capacitor. It's not going to pick up a big tantalum capacitor. Either way, that's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. This is obviously a really easy and straightforward repair. Most of them are not this simple, but, well, that's what happens when your cue gets picked at random. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now. I hear a sound of fan spin. 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 Oh, imagine if I started doing that in the front of the store. Every time I was handing a customer their computer back. Imagine if I just looked at them and I said, I hear a sound of fan spin. I hear a sound of fan spin. Someone's got to Photoshop that and like edit it so that it sounds like she's saying fan spin and have a fan spin show up right behind her. I hear a sound of fan spin. 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 Sometimes I kind of wonder, like people ask, what am I going to do once MacBooks are no longer fixable, or once it's no longer economically viable to fix a MacBook? You know, people have said, you know, what are you going to do once that's no longer a viable way to make money? She pays her property tax, so can I. That's all if she can pay her property taxes, then so can I. Yeah. Of Alright, Mario. Wish I could ride it around more places, but I ride around the shitty one that I have because if I ride the one that I put together that looks nice, then it will get stolen. So I've done a lot of things to my normal bike to make it look shitty on purpose so that it doesn't get stolen. Because if it looks nice, it will be stolen. I've had that experience. So what I do is I kind of, you know, slash the battery bag up a little bit, have the wires. I mean, the wires should be in good condition, but you got to like tangle them up a little bit so it looks fucked up. That kind of stuff. Did that fitness studio Karen comment in your last video? You know what? She didn't, and I never heard from her again, and I'm happy for it. I hope that she finds happiness in her life. I hope things go better for her. I hope that she, that's really it, you know. I leave you alone, you leave me alone. But hopefully whatever has been troubling her to get her that aggravated is gone, you know. It's not like I want people to have a shit time. Okay, I gotta leave notes for this one and then go on to the next one. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. God damn it, that shit's stuck in my head now. The only thing worse than that would be if it got stuck in my head with fucking techno music. That's gonna be what happens next, I know it. I would not be surprised if that shit got stuck in my head with some fucking techno music. Let's go to the... I grab something from I4. Be right back. Ande, eke. Ah, son of a bitch. Had to get that shit out of my head. Fucking crazy lady. And... Christopher, I'm not sure. Because I'd have to see your email. Let me see. How many unread emails do I have right now? 3,126. Good stuff. Let's see. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I've had shit that's that bad before. We've had several. Yeah, that's sadly normal. The new normal. Building is semi-fixed, Vladimir. But... actually, you know what? I'd like to see how my chargeback is going, so I'm going to check that before I get to the next one. I'm going to issue a curse on unit pack power. Ande, eke. I smell the smell of exploding lithium. I smell the smell of exploding lithium. No, Pling, go away. Fuck off. You see nothing. You don't get to see my desk, because my desk has a sticker on it with a customer or phone number. Shoo, Cam. You're being a viewer. There's really no greater insult than I can give you, Cam. I guess I could say you're being a user or a customer. User, customer, viewer, in that order. Yeah, you're not seeing my desk right now. Fuck off. My desk has my customer computer with a label on it, and if I stream it, you're all gonna call that person. No. Oh, Cam. Oh, Cam. I bet Cam hasn't even interviewed replacements yet. Alright, still waiting for my claim. Still waiting for my claim. Okay. Take this off now. And let's take a look. Alright, everybody. So let's take a look at this machine. See what's wrong with it. The customer says no backlight. They said they replaced their own screen. And take a bit of a look over here on the microscope camera. being a looks fine to me. Alright, so let's see. I bet he blew his fuse. Because this is one of the older machines before they had current sensing built into the backlight circuit. Let's see, did he blow his fuse? Did you blow your load, my friend? One way to find out. Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? Backlight fuse? That's where we're at now? Wow. Oh, Paul is gonna fucking murder me. He's gonna come in tomorrow. What? Where'd all this stuff disappear to? You fuck! Oh, man. He is gonna kill me. He gonna fucking kill me. I'm really grabbing this at random. Literally, I'm grabbing this stuff in the order that it's received. For the nice wiki in your community made. Sorry, I would not participate. I'm not sure why you would not participate. Is there anything offensive about the wiki? But either way, I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you very much for the 25 euros. It's highly appreciated. I will make sure to try and do some good things with it. Since I'm 22 hours away and all news that comes out of U.S. is Trump and Biden, how goes right to repair? The right to repair, no one cares about. That's the sad thing. Like, I was really getting into gear. Literally, around a few months away from when I opened up a Patreon to help me cover my travel expenses, because I said I'm going to do this as a full-time job and just travel around the country, record these hearings, and testify at them until I can get legislators to actually listen to me. COVID happened, and now no one gives a fuck about right to repair. It's so sad, but no one cares. The right to repair is always one of these issues that is kind of at the... right to repair is one of these things that's really on the back of people's minds, because there's immigration, there's border detention centers. Like, do you let the refugees in, or do you, put them in a detention center and tell them to get the fuck out? Then there's, with healthcare, should there be health insurance companies, or should we have Medicare for all? You have taxation. Should taxes be higher, lower? Should you be allowed to deduct your state taxes on your federal, or is that, blue states robbing red states? But wait, blue states typically pay more than they get, so they're not really being robbed to begin with. There's so many issues in politics that then there's the abortion. Don't even get there's a lot going on. So right to repair really is the last thing that ever gets paid attention to by both legislators and voters. And the way that our system works is it's really, you focus on one thing at a time. It's very hard to get people's attention for other stuff. So right up until COVID, there was all that, the Russia and the Ukraine shit, but people were starting to kind of get tired of it. But now there's no way in hell that anybody is going to be paying attention to right to repair stuff. That is, come back in 3 years. I mean, we have bailouts, bailout bills, controversial bailout bills, COVID shutdowns or no shutdowns. What are you going to do with 5 or 4 million New Yorkers that have not paid their rent because they can't pay their rent since they don't have jobs since March? There is so much shit that's part of the national discussion right now that no one could give a flying fuck about. People who are like, I want to be able to fix my Nintendo DS or with, and get a schematic or a part or something. That is, I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm not saying I'm happy about it. I'm just saying that that's kind of where it's at. Good luck getting any legislator to care about this right now, Now, if Right to Repair was on a direct ballot initiative, that would be cool. Oh, yeah. No worries, Linux Dog. I appreciate it. I figured as much. But thank you. But yeah, I would, I'm more than happy, willing, and able to do the work, do the traveling. But again, I can't even do that. I can't meet with legislators right now. Because I was willing before to just, meet, potentially sign up as a lobbyist in the state if necessary for what I was doing. you know, have lunch with you, all that stuff. Wait, I didn't turn on my tweezers. No wonder it wasn't melting. Damn, that was dumb. Okay, now they're gonna melt. These are my hot tweezers. So I was saying in the previous video, you can't really use them on the large tantalum caps, but I could maybe use it on a 0603 fuse. How do you feel about M1 MacBooks? I don't know. I feel nothing. I did a whole, I think 15 or 17 minute video on how I feel on M1 MacBooks and why I don't give a shit. I just don't care. I don't care. I have no feeling one way or the other. I don't know, and I don't care. Don't know. Don't care. If the stickers link doesn't work, it's probably Hi-Hi's fault. Everybody email hi@rossmanngroup.com and let's blame him. Why not crack one open so we can see Apple's trash? Because that would mean spending $3,000 to buy it. To do a video that'll probably make 50 bucks. So it's not, the risk reward for me isn't really there. Plus, then I also have to buy an Apple product, and I don't really want to do that. I really don't want to buy an Apple product. But I mean, I wouldn't really get much out of opening it, you know? Like, there's not really much that I can tell you. Like, if people go, well, is it repairable? I don't know. Can I, like, buying the machine's not going to tell me whether or not I can buy a chip for it or not, you know? Like that's still going to be a wild card. That's still going to be a wild card. Okay, let's see if we have a short on backlight output. What's this? Whoa. Is that dirt or is that How did I miss this? What is that? Is that dirt on top of the cap or something? Because it doesn't... Like, what is that? Get out of here. Oh. Thank you, the coder. I hope you're well too. Da, 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 da. Hello, Lizzie. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. Don't ask Louis about cheap soldering stations, he will tell you they suck. Ooh, that sounds like something I would say. I tried the Aten 858, and it was I tried that at Jess's course. It was actually one of the reasons I put off trying the 862 for so long, because I remember how much the 858 sucked. Oh, and did it suck? It sucked horribly. Horribly. Too much flux. Mr. Sunny, how are you doing today? Hope all's going well in Sunnyland. don't know why I'm so averse to using the hot air today. I think I just don't feel like taking the board out. Especially because neither of these were described as liquid damage or show any trait of liquid damage, so I feel that doing so would be a fundamental waste of time. There we go. Attached nice. What year was the last MacBook Pro to buy? The ThinkPad P50. You're thinking of the ThinkPad P50. I know you didn't just say talk about buying a MacBook in my chat. I know you wouldn't do that because you're a good person. You're a good, honorable, moral, ethical, quality human being. I know you didn't just talk about buying a MacBook on my channel because if you were, I'd have to carry you out and make you be patient zero for the COVID vaccine. You know that people that talk about buying a MacBook on my live chat get to be patient zero for the COVID vaccine, right? COVID. What will be your next smartphone? I don't know. Probably some cheap piece of shit. I use a Moto G7 now. It's a little bit slow, but again, it was $140, so to complain about it being slow is kind of ridiculous. Now we're going to see if either the screen cable of the board is shorted to ground on output. I'm looking for a 0.526 to 0.541 over here. This is backlight output to ground. 0.590. Okay, that's not shorted. Not shorted, but should be fine. What laptop do you recommend buying? I don't know. ThinkPad P50. I don't really keep up with this stuff, honestly. Like, I needed a laptop 3.5 years ago. I bought my laptop, and now I'm just kind of done. Oh, this is... Oh, man, they didn't even close the clutch cover right. When I replaced this... Oh, this is starting to come unglued. They used too much hot air when they were moving the screen. Oh, well. That sucks for them. Oh, and they fucked up the hinges, too. Oh, and you burned off the rubber. Oh, God. Oh, that's painful. Oh, man, look at that. It's like a little fucking bug just went in and ate that. Oh, that's painful to look at. Oh, that is fucking painful. Anyway. Let's see. Turn on, show me a light in the screen. No referral links to Lenovo? No referral links, man. I gotta fix a MacBook right now. I don't have time to log into Amazon affiliate. I'm just fixing a MacBook right now, that's all. Just fixing a MacBook. I'm a simple guy. And they upgraded, this is another thing that makes me want to cry. So they upgraded to have 16 gigs of RAM, but they're using a spinning Hitachi 320 gigabyte hard drive. Like, I don't know why this triggers me so much, but when people upgrade their RAM but keep their hard drive, it makes me cry. Oh no! No, you didn't! No! No! Okay, so they left the piece on the screen that you're supposed to tear off, and then they glued the glass in over it. Dear God. I can't look at this anymore. This causes me internal pain. Okay. Oh my. Oh jeez. Oh dear. Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh, man. Oh, that hurts. That actually hurts. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just because I don't like MacBooks doesn't mean I want to see innocent MacBooks get abused, you know? He kept the screen. Read off the glass, tear off the protector, stick a new glass on. Fuck. The person says replace these two components, that's what I'm paid for. I am not spending an hour removing this glass and all this other. Okay, let's see. Projector on the screen, notice the back corner. Ungluing. I would what? Unicaturua. Oh, you would use a hard drive in a laptop? Dude, even in third world country, you gotta like maybe use a PNY SSD or something. I didn't even notice, like in 2020, I can't even imagine the third world still using hard drives as an operating system drive. Okay, Mark, we're going to fuck, you know what? Just for that comment, we're going to fuck you up, but just give me a moment. Here, check it. You know what? Mark, you there? You there? You're gonna put your money where your mouth is. That's what you're gonna do. So we're gonna go to Type Racer, and we're gonna fuck you up. That's what we're gonna do. Ready? Ready? All right. So we are going to. Okay, where's Mark? Where's Mark? Where are you, fuck? Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here. I'm not even gonna finish leaving my note. I'm just gonna fuck you up. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Ande, eke. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. I should get my Microsoft keyboard because this one sucks. First place, fuckface. First place. I actually really sucked that time. I haven't done Type Racer on this keyboard in a long... I haven't used this keyboard in a while in the office. Either way. Suck it! Okay. Anyway. That was pretty awful. I usually get 110 or 122. I hate this keyboard, honestly. I just use it because it takes up less space in the desk. Either way, next. I gotta leave notes for this one. All right, everybody. Let's see. Ande, eke. Eke. Ande, 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 eke. Oh, I gotta get that shit out of my head. I'd rather have a fucking Britney Spears song from 1999 stuck in my head than this. I'd rather have Christina Aguilera in the 90s stuck in my head than this. I'd rather have Backstreet Boys and NSYNC stuck in my head than this. How do you get shit like this out of your head when it gets stuck? Do you guys have any strategies that may help me out? Any suggestions? Any ideas? Because this is killing me. I gotta get this out of my head. This is so aggravating. I can't do it. I froze. Wonder what's on Bloomberg News today. Let me check out my Bloomberg subscription. What's up on Mr. Bloomberg? Boomerberg. Every time I get my Bloomberg in the mail, Dan calls it Boomerberg. God damn it. Robin Hood traders. I don't even know what thematics is. Sarah, a 19-year-old financial influencer known as Sarah Finance, to her 660,000 followers in social media, says she recommends ETFs. Because a lot of my followers are younger too and don't want much risk. Financial influencers is a thing? That's a genre? Shit, I really am a boomer. Wow. What the? Financial fucking influencer. I want to be a financial influencer. Praise be to those that bought into ICLN before the election. I bet that Trump was going to win last time, but I bet on Biden this time. Not a bad bet to make. All right, what's this? Run it hot wins argument over how to get Americans back to work. Behind President-elect Joe Biden's plan to drive the U.S. back to full employment. Shit, I can't see that. Why don't you like socialism when real estate is marked in U.S. and financial influence clearly shows that capitalism failed as a system? U.S. and financial influencers. Why don't you like socialism? Because I don't like the idea. Well, I don't believe in the idea of socialism simply because some real estate fuckfaces were able to mix numbers and screw with the industry in certain areas. One thing that you have to understand is that for all of the commercial real estate fuckery that I showcase in New York is not. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm not even going to get into that one. I like you, Linux Dog, but I ain't going to get into that one. But anyway, but okay, so with this, New York is not the United States. New York is a very small part of the country. There's an entire rest of the country out there where housing is reasonably priced, where office space is reasonably priced, warehouses are reasonably priced. So I think the question that you're asking me, to me, it sounds more like, Louis, New York is a shitty market. Why don't you like socialism when New York failed? And just because New York is a shithole does not mean the entirety of the United States is a shithole, if that makes sense. I suppose the reason I'm not the biggest fan of socialism is because it's usually pushed by people that are, how do I put this? It is always this idea that someone else is the reason that I suck. And like, I get it, we live in a society with massive amounts of corruption. We live in a society where there's a fuck ton of rich people that didn't earn it. We live in a society that's massively unfair. But I think that I'm probably less really drilled into that than people that advocate for socialism, I suppose. And the arguments that I hear often come from people that don't seem to understand business. But I'm definitely not like all in the other direction, which is, it's just a pure meritocracy. The people that could buy it's no, there's no corruption. It's just, they all earned it. Like, there's a middle ground, like I'm not here. I'm probably like closer to here. So I'm probably, I'll put this, enough right away from socialism or social democracy, democratic socialism to be disliked in New York, but far enough left that if I were to go to Alabama or Texas, a bunch of people would probably hate me there. So I think I'm in this medium where I'm probably hated by everybody. But yeah, I think the main thing I would say there is that yes, the real estate market in New York is an absolute effing shit show. But that's not the rest of the country. There's an entire rest of the country where if you want an office to do business, you just go in the new paper or something or Craigslist and it says that it's 2,000 square feet and you show up and it's actually fucking 2,000 square feet. And the price is reasonable, It's not like the entirety of the United States can be represented by this one microcosm of the country that is filled with lying, cheating, scamming scumbags. So that would be what I say there. Let's read this article here. Run it hot argument wins over how to get Americans back to work. Behind President-elect Joe Biden's plans to drive the U.S. back to full employment after coronavirus slump lies a long-lost idea. The unemployed need jobs, not skills. The run it hot recipe for recovery is back in favor among policymakers. It works, Bar. Including, crucially, at the Federal Reserve. The argument is that the government should use the economy by any means necessary so demand is strong enough to pull people into work. That means some more money printing. Buy equities, buy equities. It contrasts with the skills gap. Drew, the problem is he's a big part of that corruption himself. He put on a good show, though. The other thing with socialism that I think makes it difficult is you can't really take a moral stance against it when you've been practicing it for banks and rich people for so long. And that's part of the problem. You know, if someone says I'm against socialism, then you can't just be against socialism for broke people. You also have to be against socialism for banks, for airlines, for insurance companies. And when you say socialism is bad, but then you allow socialism to exist for all of these large entities, it really does take away the moral high ground to be able to say socialism and redistribution is wrong. And and I think that when you really got to zoom in on and see everything that happened in 2008 and 2009, that was kind of the last bit, because people said, you know what, fuck this, I'm done. It's really difficult to have a moral high ground to say it's bad when you practice it for very specific groups of people. Anyway, how far Biden can push the approach. We're never going to have real interest rates again. Yeah, that's so spirited. That is not a real number. Something tells me it's much higher. I can't take unemployment seriously since they started counting people as not unemployed if they gave up looking for work because they just got depressed and couldn't find a job. It's very difficult to take unemployment numbers seriously. I can't particularly take unemployment numbers seriously. Oh, I already clicked that one. Eric, I will just shoot it out here because I got 3,100 unread emails, so I'm probably never going to read it. I'm just being honest with you because I get about 10 emails about making custom ICs every week, but they don't really usually lead to something. So what's your idea? I need an ISL 9240. So most of the emails say, can you get me a data sheet, which is always a no. Can you get me this characteristic, which is always a no. So let's say I need a CD3217 or an ISL 9240. Tell me what you need in a tweet what to do it. I know that sounds like an awful douchey thing to say. Actually, okay, I had 3,120 emails or so at the start of the stream. Now I have 3,128. So I'm just being honest. I'm probably never going to read the email because it's impossible. But you can use an FPGA to do translation. I don't know if the I2C address is different, and I don't know if there's other aspects to the chip itself. I also know that I think the older one uses 3.4 volt logic, and the newer one uses 1.7 volt logic. So that could be different. But like getting an FPGA to solder on there along with the chip itself, it just winds up being, how do I put, a bit of a mess. Like what we're fighting for is the ability to just buy that thing, or for someone to just find, like, you know, find a spool and sell it to us. I suppose, not torture myself soldering an FPGA on top of that. Rob Brown had an idea regarding the CD3217s. FPGA can do level translation if it has different I/O banks. The thing is that I have to find the address. FPGA is overkill for that, says Rob Brown. I think this is a great thing to work out with Rob Brown. Rob Brown is working on a CD3217 project. He is in the Discord. Rob Brown, can you meet with Mr. What was it? Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson, meet Rob Brown. Rob Brown, meet Eric Johnson. Biden virus advisors say a national lockdown isn't on the agenda. Here, let's see. I'll read your email. You know what? I will read it, and let's see what we have here. Holy. Do you think this is something that would be worth pursuing? I honestly believe that this is going to wind up being something that costs more in research and time than it winds up returning. Oh yeah, if this is something like for a commission or something, this is going to wind... You're barking up the wrong tree here. It's not even like not wanting to pay it. It's just I don't know if there's going to be a demand for this. You're probably going to wind up putting a lot of work in for it. Like I can't get ISL 9240s for the new machines, but at the same time, they haven't failed on the new machines at the rate that the ISL 9239 failed on the older one. So I can't really speak to the demand there or whether it's going to be... Like, I hear you, you know, it makes sense that you would want to make money off of this because it's going to take a lot of your time. But I'm really... Like, at the point in time that there's... they're not failing as much as the old one. So it's really one of those things where I'm just waiting for some intersil vendor to just, you know... Sell me a spool and be done with it. Especially if it needs an FPGA and a hack in it. I also don't know how similar the chips are. That's the main problem. So the main problem is, like, if the ISO 9239 and the 40 is literally nothing other than address and 1.8 versus 3.3 volt logic, then, like, maybe it would be worth it, but kind of barely. But since I don't know if there's some other aspect of it that's different, you could easily put in, you know, 80 hours of time into this and then wind up just screwing yourself and it not being at all usable, which I would kind of feel bad if you doing, unless you had already planned to do this just for the fuck of it. So if you were just planning to do it just for the hell of it, then maybe. I've been surprised. Like, I've had a few machines here that were not fixable due to the ISL 9240 issue. It's just, it's few and far between enough that it wouldn't be worth this level of hassle. Like, the real way to fix this issue is to just get these chips to be made available, because there's other chips. Like, you know, there's a PMIC chips, there's other transistors we can't get. So even if you solve this problem for this one chip, it doesn't mean it's going to be solved going into the future. I think that's a better way to explain this. So the problem is not necessarily going to be solved into the future unless we solve it once and for all by getting these chips to just be available. Like, instead of a new chip has come out, let me pay some research and development department and, you know, put 500 hours of time into fucking with this to try and make it work. It should be something like, oh, this chip died. Let me go to mouser.com. So that's really why I kind of focus on pushing the right to repair stuff more than I do reverse engineering every single chip. Because then you're going to have to reverse engineer the PMIC. You're going to have to reverse engineer virtually every other chip that you wind up needing. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Anyway, I forget where I was at before. I was reading Bloomberg because I had fixed my board, and I was about to eat my lunch. So I'm going to go eat my lunch. And after that, I will probably sort some stuff out here, go through some old tickets, and then get out of here because it's Sunday, and I'd like to enjoy my Sunday with a little bit of rest. That is about it. Someone could time out the troll HD in the chat because it doesn't look like he's going to be contributing much of anything useful to any discussion, really. That would be highly appreciated, and I will see you all in the next video.